don't start till I'm here, baby. Getting loose, getting drunk and falling in love with the weekend. I pray to God that tonight won't ever stop. We're going up, then we come down. Everybody's looking at me now. I'm gonna love you tonight with all I got. I don't have money, but I have fun. Staying at the parties, just trying to get some. And we gon' dance the night away, dance until the morning breaks. I don't have money, yeah, I got none. So what, we are young. Skipping the red lights, call it color blind. I'm risking my life, baby. Ignoring all the signs, I'm rolling the dice. Look what a sacrifice, it's crazy. Getting loose, getting drunk and falling in love with the weekend. I pray to God that tonight won't ever stop. We're going up, then we come down. Everybody's looking at me now. I'm gonna love you tonight with all I got. I don't have money, but I have fun. Staying at the parties, just trying to get some. And we gon' dance the night away, dance until the morning breaks. I don't have money, yeah, I got none. So what, we are young, so getting loose, getting drunk and falling in love with the weekend. Waking up with my best friend. We're going up, then we come down. Everybody's looking at me now. Why is the music so goddamn loud? I don't have money, but I have fun. Oh, yeah. Staying at the parties, just trying to get some. And we gon' dance the night away, dance until the morning breaks. I don't have money, yeah, I got none. So what, we are young, so what, so I don't have money, yeah, I got none. So what, we are young. So what, we are young. We got so much time, chasing morning light. Nothing on my mind, baby. Hit me like a shot. They say, can we not? The party don't start till I'm here, baby. Getting loose, getting drunk and falling in love with the weekend. I pray to God that tonight won't ever stop. We're going up, then we come down. Everybody's looking at me now. I'm gonna love you tonight with all I got. I don't have money, but I have fun. Staying at the parties, just trying to get some. And we gon' dance the night away, dance until the morning breaks. I don't have money, yeah, I got none. So what, we are young. Skipping the red lights, call it color blind. I'm risking my life, baby. Ignoring all the signs, I'm rolling the dice. Look what a sacrifice, it's crazy. Getting loose, getting drunk and falling in love with the weekend. I pray to God that tonight won't ever stop. We're going up, then we come down. Everybody's looking at me now. I'm gonna love you tonight with all I got. I don't have loose, getting drunk and falling in love with the weekend. Waking up with my best friend. We're going up, then we come down. Everybody's looking at me now. Why is the music so goddamn loud? I don't have money, but I have fun. Oh, yeah. Staying at the parties, just trying to get some. And we gon' dance the night away. Dance till the morning breaks. I don't have money, yeah, I got none. So what, we are young. So what, so what? So what, so what? So what, so what? I don't have money, yeah, I got none. So what, we are young. So what, we are young. We got so much time, chasing morning light. Nothing on my mind, baby. Hit me like a shot. They say, can we not? The party don't start till I'm here, baby. Getting loose, getting drunk and falling in love with the weekend. I pray to God that tonight will never stop. We're going up, then we come down. Everybody's looking at me now. I'm gonna love you tonight with all I got. I don't have money, but I have fun. Staying at the parties, just trying to get some. And we gon' dance the night away. Dance until the morning breaks. I don't have money, yeah, I got none. So what, we are young. Skipping the red lights, call it color blind. I'm risking my life, baby. Ignoring all the signs, I'm rolling the dice. Look what a sacrifice, it's crazy. Getting loose, getting drunk and falling in love with the weekend. I pray to God that tonight will never stop. We're going up, then we come down. Everybody's looking at me now. I'm gonna love you tonight with all I got. I don't have money, but I have fun. Staying at the parties, just trying to get some. And we gon' dance the night away. Dance until the morning breaks. I don't have money, yeah, I got none. So what, we are young. So what?
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to this virtual quiz for Be Well. Please welcome from sunny Sheffield, in his cave, your host for this evening, Mr. Lewis Jones. Thank you for that rapturous applause. As always, good evening, hello, and welcome to this quiz. My name is Lewis Jones. Some of you may know me, some of you won't. That's just the way that works. You either know someone or you don't. But hey, hopefully we're going to get to know each other over the course of this evening. Of course, the quiz this evening is being done in aid of Be Well, to fill in for a quiz that would normally be done in the Oakwood pub. I miss pubs. I really miss pubs. I felt very emotional there thinking about it. Sorry. I'll try not to get emotional through the rest of the quiz. We'll make it just a normal, just fun quiz without the emotions of thinking about what we've lost. But hey. So yeah, normally you'd be doing this in the pub to help raise money for Be Well, but hopefully we can do that this evening in this virtual way. Nick, who I'm sure you know, Nick Ryder, has asked me to do this quiz for you guys, and very happy and excited to do so. I hope we have a good evening together. It's going to be Just about 2 hours, maybe 2.5 hours. Shouldn't be anything too strenuous. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know you, so I don't know your level, but I trust you'll be great, I'm sure. Nick wanted me to read a quick message. I'm sure nearly all of you are completely aware of Be Well anyway, but just in case you are not, he says, the Be Well Partnership is an innovative and energetic group of community businesses which are trying to change the world, or at least that little bit around Glossop. We believe that a little bit of social and physical activity does you good, and we work with GP surgeries, schools, local clubs and community groups to find ways to help people break the habits of inactivity, isolation and loneliness. First and foremost, we are a well-being organisation, and although the current coronavirus restrictions require physical distancing, and they are so very important, there is no reason for our social connections to be lost. If anything, it's more important than ever for us all to do what we can to help reduce the potential for increased stress, anxiety and loneliness. So a night like this, an event where we all get together, hopefully enjoy some questions and feel part of something, will be good. Right? Hopefully we'll have fun. Of course, as part of that, we're also hoping to raise a little bit of dollar. So if you would like to donate, you can do so at the link below in the description, just to my PayPal. If you click on that, you can use PayPal to send some money through. If you write Be Well Quiz in the description of your payment, we'll know exactly what you're donating the money for, and we'll make sure that that goes to Be Well and helps with things in future. How is this quiz going to work? It's a great question, and thank you very much for asking it. I will show you like this. Welcome to the quiz. It's a good start. This is how it works. There will be 4 rounds. Easy. There'll be 10 questions in each round. At the end of each round, I will give you my email address, and I'll ask you to send your emails over to me. So either you can just be doing this at home with a pen and paper, that's totally fine, or you can just send me an email. You can write in the email the answers and send them over. That is fine. I'll give you the email at the time. For each following round after that, all I'll ask is you reply to your first email, send it to me, and I'll have them in a nice little thread all together. You're marking yourselves though. I'm just keeping them as a record of exactly what you've put to make sure there's no cheating. I'm sure, as much as you want those biscuits, I think you won't cheat, but just to be sure, I'm going to be keeping a record of your answers throughout. At the end, I'll ask you to send your total score from all 4 rounds. Whoever has the total score at the end will win. It's a classic quiz. It's an answers and questions format. Whoever answers the most wins. We've all done it. It should be fine. What's coming up first then for us tonight, our first round, keep fit. Because it's an important part of what Be Well wants you to do. Keeping active is very important. So all of the answers in this round is going to be general knowledge, but every single answer will feature the letters FIT somewhere. Fit will be in there. All together, won't be split up. FIT will be part of the answer. So 10 questions, all of them have fit in the answer. I hope that makes sense, and let's go through and get started with the first question of the night. Question number 1. Question number 1. Coming from the French to preserve, what cooking term is used to describe meat cooked in its own fat at low temperature? Coming from the French to preserve, what cooking term is used to describe meat cooked in its own fat at low temperature? And there you see a very nice looking piece of duck that's been cooked in that method. Just getting some messages from people. Everything seems to be fine. If there's any problems, if you're having any tech issues, please do let me know. We've also got a live chat going, so you can just write a message in the live chat to let me know how you're doing. If you're having any problems, if you've got any questions about what we're doing, please write them there. That's your question 1. Question number 2. Which actress, the mother of Dakota Johnson and the daughter of Tippi Hedren, was Oscar nominated for 1988's Working Girl? Which actress, the mother of Dakota Johnson and the daughter of Tippi Hedren, was Oscar nominated for 1988's Working Girl? A hell of a dynasty there. 3 fantastic actresses. Dakota Johnson, sure, she's in the 50 Shades films. I can't say I've seen them. I feel like it's made people go, is she very good? But I'm sure I've seen her in stuff where she's been good. And Tippi Hedren, she was in a couple of great Hitchcock films, as I recall. This actress, I'm not that aware of, but her name has FIT in it, so she's in the round. That's all that matters. I mean, she was Oscar nominated for Working Girl, so she can't be that bad. What is the name of that actress, the mother of Dakota Johnson, and the daughter of Tippi Hedren? That is your question number 2 in this round. Question number 3 in Keep Fit. Their last completed novel before dying of a heart attack at 44, who wrote 1934's Tender is the Night? Their last completed novel before dying of a heart attack at 1944, who wrote 1934's Tender is the Night? Of course, the quote itself, I believe, is taken from T.S. Eliot. Am I right? I think I'm right. Let me know if I'm right. Let me know. And a refrain of Tender is the Night was later used in Blur's song Tender from about 1997, I think, from their self-titled Blur album. But who was the author? Of course, died quite young there, only 44. But their last novel was 1934's Tender is the Night. Who was that author? That's your question number 3. On to question number 4. What was the name of the only acknowledged illegitimate child of Henry VIII, who held the title of the Duke of Richmond and Somerset? What was the name of the only acknowledged illegitimate child of Henry VIII, who held the title of the Duke of Richmond and Somerset? Of course, we all know the 3 children of Henry VIII who were legitimate, his 3 children by his first 3 wives, who of course would go on to be monarchs of this country. This was an illegitimate child. He was believed to have many illegitimate children, but only one did he acknowledge, and was basically treated as if he was a full royal, despite his illegitimacy. In fact, in my research for this, I found out that he was First Lord of the Admiralty, which is strange because he died about 17, 18, I think. So, well done to him. I'm sure it was well earned. Those positions in the monarchy normally tend to be well earned, so I'm sure this guy deserved it. I'll need a first name and a surname for this, especially if you want to get the fit in there. You have to have the fit. All the answers have fit in them, so you need fit in the answer for you to get yourself the point. But you'll be marking them, so you can mark yourself a bit leniently if you wish. That was question 4. What was the name of the only acknowledged illegitimate child of Henry VIII, who held the title of the Duke of Richmond and Somerset? Moving on to question number 5, halfway point in this round. We're going quite quickly. This, I can never say this word. Peripheral. I was going to say peripheral. No, peripheral. This peripheral item was packaged with which Nintendo exercise game released in 2008? This peripheral item was packaged with which Nintendo exercise game released in 2008? Of course, the console that this was released for was a big worldwide hit. Sold a lot of units. It was very accessible for all people. It wasn't just for the hardcore gaming people out there. It was a family console. Well, my mum played it, as I recall. Not this specific game, but this was one of the examples. They were encouraging people to stay healthy through games, and this was the balance board that they created for which game? Name that game for another point. No one's writing anything in the live chat, which is, fine. I like the live chat because it means that I'm not just talking to a wall. So if you want to pop a message in the live chat, I'd appreciate it. So mostly so I know you're there. I might be talking to no one. There might be no one out there doing this quiz. In which case, it's fine. I make a good quiz. The quiz stands on its own merit, but I hope you are out there and I hope you're enjoying yourselves. So that was your question number 5. On to question number 6. I've got a little picture there for you as well. An inspiration for the TV show Happy Days, which 1973 film starring Richard Dreyfuss and Ron Howard centred around car and early rock and roll culture in 60s California. An inspiration for the TV show Happy Days, which 1973 film starring Richard Dreyfuss and Ron Howard centered around car culture and early rock and roll culture in 60s California. And it's a picture, a very young Ron Howard there on the right. This film actually was directed by George Lucas. I think it was his last film before he went on to make Star Wars and change everything. A very different subject matter, but one I believe inspired by his youth in Modesto, California. But what was the name of that film? Did very, very well around the world, won a lot of awards, made a lot of money, and I believe it's in the American Film Institute's top 100 films of all time. That was question number 6. An inspiration for Happy Days, which 1973 film starring Richard Dreyfuss and Ron Howard centered around car and early rock and roll culture in 60s California. Next, question number 7. We're doing these at a good pace. What 4-word phrase was coined by Herbert Spencer in his Principles of Biology, where he expounded on Charles Darwin's natural selection? What 4-word phrase was coined by Herbert Spencer in his Principles of Biology, where he expounded on Charles Darwin's natural selection? I'm sure you'll all get that one. I asked for people to talk in the chat, and people didn't talk in the chat. I'm delighted to hear it. Hello, everyone that's saying hi. Val Stevenson wants a shout out. Hello, all the Stevensons. Hope you're having a great time. Stephen says, thank you for stepping up. My pleasure, Stephen. Basically, the only thing that's kept me going through this interminable lockdown is my ability to write a good quiz and to have people enjoy it. So I'm very happy to be doing it for some charitable causes. Miz says, woo Los Campesinos t-shirt. It is. It's probably my favourite Los Campesinos t-shirt. And I own about 20 Los Campesinos t-shirts. So happy to be wearing this one. And very happy to know there's people out there. I'm not just shouting into the void like I do most days. That was your question 7. What 4-word phrase was coined by Herbert Spencer in his Principles of Biology, where he expounded on Charles Darwin's natural selection? On to question number 8. 3 questions left in this round. This logo that you see there, a rather intimidating looking skull kind of thing, I think. This is the logo of which American rock band who share their name with a 1961 John Huston film starring Clark Gable and Marilyn Monroe? This is the logo of which American rock band who share their name with a 1961 John Huston film starring Clark Gable and Marilyn Monroe? Jane says she's struggling with the film questions. My apologies, Jane. I know I threaded a few of them in here. And there might be a couple more in the quiz, but don't worry, it's not predominantly film questions. I've tried to keep it, and I think I have succeeded in keeping it 4 rounds that are very much general knowledge. Each has their own fun theme to tie things together. Very conscious always in a quiz that there's some subject people just hate. Sport, I think, is always a big one. I personally would love a round of just some football questions, but some people are like, no thank you, I hate that. So I try and make it a little bit more general, a little bit more fun, and try and have something else threading our way through. We'll see how it goes. Jack says, can you please love to see it? I think you mean, can I please say love to see it? I do love to see it, Jack. You know, it's my catchphrase when I do my quizzes. I love to see it. And fans of this band would love to see this logo, I'm sure. But what is the name of that band who share their name with a 1961 John Huston film that starred Clark Gable and Marilyn Monroe? And remember, all the answers have to have the letters F-I-T, fit, in them somewhere. Question number 9. SoCal surf culture, so Southern California surf culture, inspired clothing brand Hollister is part of which parent brand, sometimes shortened to A&F? SoCal surf culture inspired clothing brand Hollister is part of which parent brand, sometimes shortened to A&F? Hollister has horrible shops where they don't really advertise it's a shop. It just looks like a shack has appeared in a otherwise fine shopping centre. You're like, what's going on here? And then you go inside and it's really dark and the music's loud and it scares me. I don't like it in there. There's one in Cambridge where I'm from. I'm not a fan. I find it intimidating. And that's not to mention the fact that they only hire good looking people, which is a weird way to go around things. They've got a brand they've got to stick to it. Do I agree with it? No. Did all the people that I hated at sixth form wear these brands? Yes. Is there a link? Probably. But hey, we'll see. So question number 9 there. Southern California or SoCal surf culture inspired clothing brand Hollister is part of which parent brand, sometimes shortened to A&F? Often shortened to A&F, I would say. That's question 9, your penultimate question in this round. And finally, question number 10. You'll be amazed at what we can do is an advertising campaign run by which UK chain of car service companies? You'll be amazed at what we can do is an advertising campaign run by which UK chain of car service companies? Very big chain of car service companies. I'm sure many of you have used them. And you've certainly heard of and probably seen some adverts in this campaign. I believe the comedian Lou Sanders was in some of these adverts with the "You'll be amazed at what we can do" title. And that is your last question in this round. So I'll give you a couple seconds to think of your answer there. Once you've got all 10 answers written down on a piece of paper or written into your email provider, whatever way you want to do it, I don't mind, you're going to need to do this. Take a picture of your answer sheet or just keep it in your thing and then send it to my email address. You can see it there, lewisjones47@hotmail.com. In the subject line of your email, I'd like you to put your team name. That would be great. That's all you need to put, just your team name. If you want to write the round number in the body of the text as well, that would be fantastic, but you don't need to if that's too much for you. But send that over to me. I'm going to give you about 5 or 6 minutes, so let's say until 5 minutes to 8 to get that information over. Once they're all in, I will come back and I will go through the answers in that first round for you. Until then, I'm going to put some music on and I'll be right back with you.
Sometimes I feel like my words are slipping away from me. And when I'm around you, I have nothing to say to you. Inside my head, all the world makes sense in a funny way. But when I try to tell you about what you and I should be, to say, and I knew not how to say it, and I couldn't even tell you why. No, I couldn't even tell you why. I knew then that all of my breaths were in vain. Oh, I thought it would never come, no. But now it's all changed. The world's in my hands. It's taken so long now, but I can't complain. If I'd given in, my sun would implode. But now it is burning, it's burning again. Well, I don't think
back. Hope that you had a good few minutes there getting your answers in. I can see that I've got plenty in. I've got about, I think, 12 at the moment, which is great. I don't know how many people are playing, of course, so that's pretty good. And had a couple more donations come in. So again, if you're enjoying this quiz, if you want to donate to help raise money for Be Well so they can do what they do, please do use the PayPal link in the description. Send us a couple quid over. All the money that you donate will go straight to there. Also, want to thank a couple of people that have sent their answers in and have used bold on the word fit in their answers, which, I mean, that's class. Very good. That's very impressive. I really appreciate it. And just because there was a couple questions in the chat, I won't repeat anything throughout this quiz. I won't repeat a question from further back. I'll repeat it 2 or 3 times as we go through, but I won't repeat ones from the past. You can at any point, though, use the bar on YouTube, even though this is live, to scroll back as far as you need to be to find the questions you need. As soon as you've done those, I then recommend zooming as far as you can forward to try and make sure you're at the same moment we are. I don't want you behind, like when it comes to sending in the answers or anything like that. See, I've got a couple more coming in, which is great. David Wilson sent in a second email clarifying one of the answers on his first. I mean, I don't know if I'm allowed to accept. I will this time, David. Don't you worry. But normally there's a sort of you've given in, that's it. But this time I'll let it happen. But answers seem very good throughout. I'm very, very impressed by everyone. Well done. So let's get a look at what the answers in that first round were. Where are we? Here we are. There we are. Keep fit answers. Let's go through them. First up, question number 1. The French term to preserve in cooking is confit. So used to describe meat cooked in its own fat at low temperature, but it can also, you can confit a lot of things, and it doesn't necessarily have to be meat. Meat, it does tend to be in its own fat. The low temperature is the most important element. I've confit garlic before. It was awful. It went really, really badly. I read this recipe and it made it sound like this beautiful garlic dip, and I made it and I was so excited. I tasted it and it tasted like death. It tasted like my insides died, and I only had a little bit of it. I made a big bowl of it. I only ate a tiny bit. It was too much. Anyway, that's enough of me on a confit rant. Let's move on. So confit or confit. The answer to question number 1. Question number 2. The actress who was the mother of Dakota Johnson, daughter of Tippi Hedren, who was nominated for Working Girl, was Melanie Griffith. Question number 3. The writer whose last novel before his death was Tender as the Night. That was F. Scott Fitzgerald. Of course, most famous for The Great Gatsby, which probably is my shout for the best book of all time. It is very good. If you've not read it in a while, get it. It's only short, but good. Really good quality. That was number 3. Number 4. What was the name of the only acknowledged illegitimate child of Henry VIII? That was Henry Fitzroy. Henry, because that's his dad's name, and then Fitzroy literally just means son of the king. Fitz in any, Fitzgerald, those sort of names does mean son of, and Roy, as in the French, le roi, Roy. Question number 5. This peripheral, I got it first time, yes, item that was packaged with a Nintendo exercise game. That game was Wii Fit for the Wii. Very, very popular, sold a lot of units. I think it was the 3rd most popular game for the Wii, other than not including Wii Sport, which came with every Wii. But yeah, it did very, very well worldwide. Number 6, the film that was an inspiration for Happy Days, directed by George Lucas, as I said, and starring Richard Dreyfuss and Ron Howard, was American Graffiti. A very successful film. Question number 7. The forward phrase coined by Herbert Spencer, expounding on Charles Darwin's natural selection, was survival of the fittest. I'm sure you got that one. Often the phrase is misattributed to Darwin himself. He never mentioned that on the origin of the species. It was Herbert Spencer who came up with that when he was describing biology much broad terms in Principles of Biology. Question number 8. This logo is the logo of which American rock band that shares its name with a John Huston film? That is the Misfits. Glenn Danzig's band, the Misfits. very popular as a t-shirt design. Not necessarily have to be a fan of the band, like the Ramones t-shirts you see a lot of. Question number 9. SoCal surf culture. This seemed to be the hardest question for you out there. The brand Hollister is part of which parent brand, sometimes shortened to A&F? That's Abercrombie and Fitch. Abercrombie and Fitch. I think the Abercrombie and Fitch goes for more of sort of like a prep school vibe compared to the SoCal surfer dude vibe of Hollister. And question number 10. You'll be amazed at what we do is the advertising campaign run by QuickFit. QuickFit, the chain of car mechanics. So that's your lot. Very good answers from all of you there, I saw. So well done, all of you. In the chat, Nick says, excellent work, Lewis. Keep it up. Thanks, Nick. I'm doing my best. Anyway, let's move on. That's your first round done. Round 2, I thought we'd go for something a little bit more fun. Hopefully it'll be all right with you. Let's see what that is. That round is called the allotment. How does this work? So every question in this round will be inspired by a herb or vegetable. So the first round, all the connection was in all the answers. This one, it'll be in the questions. So you won't have that little guiding principle, but all the questions I've written have been inspired by herbs and vegetables. I know that a big part of what Be Well Do is an allotment that's being run. So I thought, what a great reason to start around. So 10 general knowledge questions, each question inspired by a herb or a vegetable. Let's see what they are, starting with question number 1. Question number 1, there's a logo for you, Potato. The production company Potato make which daytime quiz show on air since 2009? The production company Potato make which daytime quiz show on air since 2009? It's a quiz show I've been on. And I'm seeing I've got a couple more donations coming in, which is lovely. Thank you very much. That's your question number 1 in this round. Question number 2. Which US band have had 3 UK number 1 studio albums called I'm With You, Stadium Arcadium, and By the Way? Which US band have had 3 UK number 1 studio albums called I'm With You, Stadium Arcadium, and By the Way? I believe they also had 1 live album, live at Hyde Park, that was also a UK number 1, but 3 studio albums. You'll notice that there's no herb or vegetable in the question, so it must be in the answer. A little clue for you. I won't give you any more going forward. I make it from the emails I got in from the first round. We've got 15 teams, which is very, very nice. Thank you very much. I think I've got donations from about half of those. So the rest of you, you know where the link is in the description for this. Please get over to it. So that was question number 2. Which US band have had 3 UK number 1 studio albums called I'm With You, Stadium Arcadium, and By the Way? Question number 3. A nice picture for you there. The world famous La Tomatina tomato throwing festival occurs in which country? The world famous La Tomatina tomato throwing festival occurs in which country? Sadly, not going ahead this year, of course, with everything, but I'm sure it will be back next year. I think they're like slightly off tomatoes. They don't just waste good tomatoes. But even if they do, I mean, it looks like a laugh. I'd like to go. I love a tomato, love a good tomato. Had a great sort of caprese salad for my lunch. And if there's one thing I do well, it is seasoned tomato and right quiz. Those are the top two. Seasoned tomato, right quiz. Sadly, this is the only one of those that I can do over YouTube. If I could season a tomato for you via YouTube, I would. But sadly, I can't. I'd even do a video explaining it, but I can't. It's very vibe-based. I'm a vibe-based chef. As those of you who know me will know. I'm very vibe-based. And that's your question number 3. The world-famous La Tomatina tomato throwing festival occurs in which country? Moving on to question number 4. It's a multi-point question. I always want like an alarm. When I used to do a pub quiz, I always wanted like people to be like, "Oh, multi-point question," and they never did. So I should have got some sort of alarm noise for this. I didn't. My apologies. But here it is, and this is gonna be a place for a lot of points. There are 11. Can you believe it? 11 whole points available to you in this single question. That's more than the whole last round had on its own. So make this one count. Other than carrots, name the other 11 ingredients in the BBC Good Food recipe for carrot cake. Other than carrots, name the 11 ingredients in the BBC Good Food recipe for carrot cake. Pretty big. With these, I will accept, the least. You don't have to be specific. I'll talk about it when we get to the answers, but for fun's sake, as long as the general idea of a substance that you're putting in there is the right thing, that's all that matters. In the chat, Moldog says, Tom says he thinks the answer is actually a fruit. I think you might be right for that one, Tom. Yeah, I'm giving the general idea of fruits, of vegetables and herbs in this round. But yeah, you're right. Some may be fruits. As I found out the other day when I was doing another charity quiz, a fruit is an actual thing. Like there's a scientific explanation for a fruit. A vegetable is just everything. Anything could be a vegetable if you want it to be. It doesn't matter if you're, a tuber, a leaf. A lot of fruits actually are vegetables. There's no rules. But basically I put things that you could arguably grow in an allotment. Maybe with a need of a polytunnel for some of them. Sure, but hey. And Max Burgess-Clark says, give us a wave, LJ. Much love. Hey, Max. Hope everyone is doing well in your household. I see you've been doing a great bit of DIY on Instagram. Been enjoying that. Looking forward to seeing where that goes. Hope it all goes well. And your dog's cute. It's a very cute dog. That was your question number 4. So a big multi-pointer. 11 points available in that question. Name the other ingredients that aren't carrots in the BBC Good Food recipe for carrot cake. Next, question 5. Basil Rathbone played which literary character in 14 films between 1939 and 1946? Basil Rathbone played which literary character in 14 films between 1939 and 1946? Should be reasonably simple, I think, that one. Got another donation in. Stephen Ford, thank you very much, Stephen. Raised a good little amount, which is really good to see. It's obviously a difficult time, particularly for small charities at the moment. Very, very understandably. But hopefully doing events like this, raising a little bit of cash, really useful. I've certainly, in my weekly quiz that I do Thursday nights here on YouTube, you can subscribe if you want to know more about those. We've been giving money to different charities every week, and I know even though it's a small amount, it all can make the difference, and that's what's important. So that's your question 5. Halfway through this round. Basil Rathbone played which literary character in 14 films between 1939 and 1946? On to question number 6. Jessica Garlick, with a K, because, I had to stretch it slightly. I hope you'll forgive me. Jessica Garlick represented the UK in the 2002 edition of which competition, finishing 3rd? Jessica Garlick represented the UK in the 2002 edition of which competition, finishing 3rd? Not giving you any clues about that one. Could be any sort of competition. Victoria Murphy and the Lynn Avenue Massive say excellent quiz. Thank you very much. I'm glad you're having fun, and hopefully the other half of this quiz is good. If I let you down, Victoria, in the second half, I can only apologise. But so far, so good, right? I think so. So that's question number 6. Jessica Garlick represented the UK in the 2002 edition of which competition, finishing 3rd? Question number 7. This gingerbread man, seen there, baked by the Muffin Man, appeared in which series of animated films? This gingerbread man, baked by the Muffin Man, appeared in which series of animated films? A very popular series that made a lot of money at the box office, and people love them. The kids love them. They're constantly doing memes about them. Moldog says, back yourself, Lewis. If you don't know him well. Thanks, Moldog. I'm always backing myself. I think I've got a good quiz, I'm just trying to show a bit of humility, I guess. Quiz humility. We'll see. That's your question number 7. This gingerbread man, baked by the Muffin Man, appeared in which series of animated films? On to question number 8. 3 questions left in this round. 2 dots of what colour are used on competition standard squash balls? 2 dots of what colour are used on competition standard squash balls? I read a lot about the history of the squash ball while making this question. A lot of pressure, of course, on Nick, who asked me to do this quiz. He did used to be in charge of UK squash, so hopefully he'll know the answer. You'd hope. Big shout out to squash from Moldog in the chat. The big cheese of squash in the house. It's true. Who doesn't love a bit of squash? So that's question number 8. The 2 dots on what colour are used on competition standard squash balls? Question number 9. Sage. You can see their logo there. It's just the word sage in green. Not even a sage green. It's too light for sage. Sage is darker. But hey, Sage is the UK's second largest technology company. I'm not sure who the first is. I'll look into that. They primarily make software for what purpose? Sage, the UK's second largest technology company, primarily makes software for what purpose? I'm sure many of you will have encountered this software at some point. In the chat, Victoria says, Nick, can you text me the answer? I'm sure, Nick, if you want to help people out, if you want to, spread some love in the community and let people know that you're a part of it, might be a good idea to let people know, right? Michelle says, are you looking for two colours? No, 2 dots of the same colour, so just the one colour there. And Nick says, the history of the squash ball is about as interesting as the history of the whole sport, frankly. I do not doubt it. I do not doubt it at all. The other day, Nick was telling me about his attempts to sort of liven up the world squash experience as something to watch. I found it very interesting, and I know that sounded sarcastic. It wasn't at all. It was quite fascinating. As someone with a quiz can be boring, but here I am presenting a quiz, and I think hopefully making it fun. And it's the same for squash. Like I add some pizzazz to this quiz. Maybe squash needed some pizzazz, and it turns out the bods at squash were not willing to hear about that, which is a shame. Look at where squash is now. Is that squash's own fault? Possibly. Back to question number 9. That was question number 9. Sage, the UK's second largest technology company, primarily makes software for what purpose? And finally, last question in this round, question number 10. The market town of Leek is in which landlocked county of the West Midlands? The market town of Leek is in which landlocked county of the West Midlands? And that is the last question in this round. So, just as we did last time, I would like you to email me your answers. So either a picture, if you're doing it pen and paper, that's completely fine, or write it straight into your email browser. That's cool as well. Send it to my email address, lewisjones47@hotmail.com. What I really recommend is you take your last email that you sent me, go into your sent items, click reply, make sure that my email is still there in your reply box, and reply there. That way it will stack together in my inbox, makes it a lot easier for me to see all of just your emails. So if you could do that, again, put your team name as the subject. If you want, you can put the round name in the body of the text. That would be great. Send that over, and I'll give you another 5 minutes, let's say until about 24 minutes past, to find out the answers to those. So I'll see you in another couple of minutes.
Sometimes I feel like my words are slipping away from me. And when I'm around you, I have nothing to say to you. Inside my head, all the world makes sense in a funny way. But when I try to tell you about what you and I should be, to say, and I knew not how to say it, and I couldn't even tell you why. No, I couldn't even tell you why. I knew then that all of my breaths were in vain. Oh, I thought it would never come, no. But now it's all changed. The world's in my hands. It's taken so long now, but I can't complain. If I'd given in, my sun would implode. But now it is burning, it's burning again. Well, I don't think that I've ever known for sure the But now it's all changed. The world's in my hands. It's taken so long now, but I can't complain. When I was with you, my mind had no words. I may not have many, but baby, they're true. If only I'd known all of these years, you'd unlock the door behind all of my fears. If I'd given in, my sun would have glowed. But now it is burning, it's burning, it's burning, it's burning, it's burning, it's burning again.
Hello. Thank you very much. I think I've got answers from everyone in. Let me just take a quick look. Yep, I seem to, and everyone seems to have done as I asked and replied to themselves, which is really great. Fantastic. Thank you very much. And some good answers. Again, very, very strong across the board, which is great to see. And just because I had a couple of questions about it, just wanted to do a quick shout out for the music that I'm using. The music before the quiz started was by a young artist called Adam Evans, who's only 18, who's from my hometown of Haverhill, Suffolk. And the music in the little breaks that I take is by a band called The Divergence, whose lead singer is a fan of this quiz, Daniel Penner. He's given me some music to use. That's one of the tracks I'm using. So thank you very much, Daniel, for those. But hey, I think we've got everyone in. Haven't got enough. I was expecting maybe another couple of donations in that point. Haven't got them. I can see that Kat in the chat is asking where the PayPal link is. So it should be just in the description for this video, Kat. If not, the email address is paypal.me/LJ47. That'll take you where you need to be. Make sure you put Be Well Quiz in the description of your payment so that I know it's for this and I can pass the money over. But anyway, let's get on and find out what the answers were to that round, shall we? The allotment answers. Question number 1. The production company Potato make which quiz show on air since 2009? They make The Chase. They haven't always been the production company. I think they started producing it in about 2013. But they are the producers of it now. In fact, when they have the little title card, you hear Bradley Walsh say Potato. That's the clue. I think they also produce Ninja Warrior, whatever it's called. I've never seen it, but oh well. Question number 2. Which US band have had 3 UK #1 studio albums with I'm With You, Stadium Arcadium? And by the way, correctly probably pointed out in the chat that they are technically a fruit, but they're the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Old Anthony Kiedis, Flea, Chad Smith, and a guitarist. I think actually recently John Frusciante, their classic guitarist, has returned to the band, which I think for fans is very exciting. Question number 3. The world famous La Tomatina tomato throwing festival occurs in which country? That happens in Spain. I think most people got that right. A couple went for Italy. I think when I was saying it, I was trying not to accent it when I was asking the question. Didn't want to give anything away. But it happens in the Valencia region, not far from the city of Valencia itself. Question number 4. Other than carrots, name the 11 ingredients that can be found in the BBC Good Food recipe for carrot cake. So vegetable oil, if you just put oil, I'll give you that. Flour, bicarbonate of soda, sugar, they want caster, but again, sugar's fine. Eggs, salt, cinnamon, walnuts, cream, cheese, sugar, and butter. So I've got sugar twice. So if you put the different sugars, you'll get different points, basically, there. One was for the body, one was for the cream cheese frosting. So basically caster and icing are the two sorts of sugar. So that's question number 4. So the correct answers, again, oil, flour, bicarbonate of soda, caster sugar, eggs, salt, cinnamon, walnuts, cream cheese, icing sugar, and butter. Question number 5. Basil Rathbone played which literary character in 14 films between 1939 and 1946? He played Sherlock Holmes. Of course, would later give his name to the animated detective Basil the Great Mouse Detective, very much based on Sherlock Holmes and named Basil in honour of Basil Rathbone. Question number 6. Jessica Garlick represented the UK in the 2002 edition of which competition? That was the Eurovision Song Contest. Of course, would have happened last weekend if it had not been cancelled due to coronavirus. But third place, I think we might have had a second in 1998, but I don't think we've done better than third since Jessica Garlick in 2002, actually. Question number 7. This gingerbread man, baked by the Muffin Man, appeared in which series of animated films? He appeared in the Shrek franchise in all of those films. Important side character. Question number 8. The 2 dots of what colour are used on the competition standard squash balls? That is yellow. Very interesting, as we discussed, but until 2000 it was just one yellow, and then they, obviously a massive leap in technology, they were able to invent the double yellow. Wow. Riveting stuff in squash. As always, 2 yellow dots on the squash ball. Question number 9. Sage primarily makes software for what purpose? It's accounting software. So if you put anything like accounting or finance, that's correct. But a very big company and a lot of companies, a lot of places I've worked, do use it. And finally, question number 10. The market town of Leek is in which landlocked county of the West Midlands? That is in Staffordshire, of course. So those are your answers in that round. Jack says the musical Walking on Sunshine lied to me. They did festival in Italy. I'm very sorry about that, Jack. If only I knew. I quite like the musical Walking on Sunshine. I think I saw a bit of it. I think, who was in it? Someone strange, isn't it? I don't remember. But hey, you've been lied to. It does happen in Spain. Anyway, so those are your answers for that round. That's the halfway point in the quiz. So we can have a little 10-minute break. We'll come back at 20 minutes to. So yeah, it's past now. So come back at 22 and we'll get going with the second half. Grab a brew, grab a beer if you want to recreate that being in the pub experience. If you've not donated yet, I would really like it if you did. I'd really, really appreciate it. So if you want to go to the link that's in the description or to the paypal.me/LJ47, do a donation there. Alternatively, if you're someone who knows me and just has my Monzo, you can Monzo me the money people have. I'll make sure it all goes to the right place after that. But anyway, I'll see you in 10 minutes for the second half of the quiz. Have fun.
Sometimes I feel like my words are slipping away from me. And changed. The world's in my hands. It's taken so long now, but I can't complain. If I give it in, my sun would implode. But now it is burning, it's burning again. Well, I don't think that I've ever known for sure the world is the way it's supposed to be. You've always seemed to be far beyond my boundaries. And in my time I have read some books and I've learned a little bit about the way things are. But it all seemed to escape me when I saw you smiling up at me. But you told me what to say, and you told me how to say it. When you looked into my eyes, oh, when you looked into my eyes, I knew then that all of my troubles were gone, oh, I thought it would never come, no. But now it's all changed. The world's in my hands. It's taken so long now, but I can't complain. When I was with you, my mind had no words. I may not have many, but baby, they're true. If only I'd known all of these years, you'd unlock the door behind all of my fears. If I'd given in, my sun would implode. But now it is burning, it's burning, it's burning, it's burning, it's burning, it's burning again. Inside my head all changed. The world's in my hands. It's taken so long now, but I can't complain. If I'd given in, my sun would implode. But now it is burning, it's burning again. Well, I don't think that I've ever known for sure the world is the way it's supposed to be. You've always seemed to be far beyond my boundaries. And in my time I have read some books and I've learned a little bit about the way things are. But it all seemed to escape me when I saw you smiling up at me. But you told me what to say, and you told me how to say it. When you looked into my eyes, oh, when you looked into my eyes, I knew then that all of my troubles were gone, oh, I thought it would never come, no. But now it's all changed. The world's in my hands. It's taken so long now, but I can't complain. When I was with you, my mind had no words. I may not have many, but baby, they're true. If only I'd known all of these years, you'd unlock the door behind all of my fears. If I'd given in, my sun would implode. But now it is burning, it's burning, it's burning, it's burning, it's burning, it's burning again.
Hello, and welcome back. Hope you've had a nice break and you've made yourself a brew of whatever you want, whatever you've got. I've just drank some water. I feel refreshed. It's nice. In the chat, following up when we were talking about La Tomatina, Jack has said Leon Lewis is in it. That's who I was thinking of, Jack. Yeah, I knew it was someone who hadn't really acted, and it was strange. He says horrendous performance. I assume you're talking about Leon Lewis rather than your team in this quiz so far. But I was intrigued by that. I was like, well, maybe is there some confusion? And according to the Wikipedia page for La Tomatina, the 2014 British musical film Walking on Sunshine features a tomato fight in a Apulian village shot in Nardo, Italy, but no such actual festival there. The northern Italian village of Ivrea has the Battle of the Oranges, similar, but that's it. Strange that they'd just make that up, but Leon Lewis is a liar. We all know it. Got another few donations through, which is fantastic. I will get looking at what the total is of that, and maybe at the break at the end of this round to see about where we are with the money. But again, all donations are very much appreciated. Thank you very much. All of the money you donate will be going straight to Be Well and helping with their mission statement around the Glossop area. My apologies. My mind has gone. We've all been there. Anyway, let's move on, shall we? To round number 3. What's round number 3? I hear you ask through the aether. Well, it's this. Alliterative initials. So all of the words in All the words in each answer will be given the same letter. You know what alliteration is. You know how it works. Most of them are just 2 letters. Those letters there aren't the letters that I'm using. Those are just the only illustrative picture that I could find was this. I assume it's from some sort of inner city metro system somewhere. I'm not sure, but it kind of looks like the New York metro, but with double letters. I thought. But anyway, yeah. So every answer in this round, all the words will be given the same letter in each individual answer. So let's get going with it, shall we? Let's move on to question number 1. First question of this second half is: which actor first came to prominence in Dazed and Confused and won an Oscar for his role in Dallas Buyers Club? Which actor first came to prominence in Dazed and Confused and won an Oscar for his role in the film Dallas Buyers Club? A good actor. I'm sure we can all agree. Dazed and Confused is a very good film by Richard Linklater. I think that was 1993, if I recall correctly. I think he won the Oscar for Dallas Buyers Club in around 2012, 2013. In the chat, Jane says, Mick Owen says genius round. Thanks, Mick. We're only early days yet. Let's see how the rest of the round goes, but hopefully it'll be good. Thank you. But that's your first question in this round. Which actor first came to prominence in Dazed and Confused and won an Oscar for his role in Dallas Buyers Club? This actor spent most of the 2000s making bad rom-coms, and then had somewhat of a renaissance in the early part, certainly of the last decade. Maybe threw away some of that goodwill towards the end with some frankly bizarre choices. Frankly bizarre, but hey. That's your cue number 1 in this round 3. Let's go on to question number 2 in this alliterative initials round. Which band take their name from that of the heir to the Austro-Hungarian throne whose assassination directly led to World War I? Which band take their name from that of the heir to the Austro-Hungarian throne whose assassination directly led to World War I? I'm sure we all studied that. Some of you might be a fan of that band as well. I certainly am. One of the first albums I ever bought, I think. Or maybe my sister bought it and I nicked it off her. Very possible. But great band. Really great band. That's your cue number 2. Moving on to question number 3. Which contrarian writer and intellectual, the author of The Female Eunuch, has been described by the Sydney Morning Herald as a walking headline? Which contrarian writer and intellectual, the author of The Female Eunuch, has been described by the Sydney Morning Herald as a walking headline? Hell of a review. I believe this person was once on Celebrity Big Brother as well, and left after a few days. That's your question number 3. Which contrarian writer and intellectual, the author of The Female Eunuch, has been described by the Sydney Morning Herald as a walking headline? Onwards to question number 4. Which actress and singer, best known for playing the title role in Calamity Jane, died this time last year at the age of 97? Which actress and singer, best known for playing the title role in Calamity Jane, died this time last year at the age of 97? Excuse me. Got hiccups for some reason. Not too sure why. That is your question number 4. Which actress and singer, best known for playing the title role in Calamity Jane, died this time last year at the age of 97? Question number 5. What substance was invented by John Pemberton in 1886, initially as a substitute for morphine? Which substance was invented by John Pemberton in 1886, initially as a substitute for morphine? I believe he invented this somewhere in the south of America, in the Georgia region, I believe. What substance was invented by John Pemberton in 1886, initially as a substitute for morphine? I know we're halfway through the round with that question. Remember, all the answers in this round have alliterative initials. Let's move on to question number 6. What singer, a member of the so-called 27 Club, is most famous for her version of Piece of My Heart and her original song, Mercedes-Benz? What singer, a member of the so-called 27 Club, is most famous for her version of Piece of My Heart and her original song, Mercedes-Benz? Of course, 27 Club, member of, not a club you want to be a part of, I suppose. Singers who have all died at that age, 27. I think, off the top of my head, I think Hendrix, Kurt Cobain, Amy Winehouse, all other people to die at that age. There's quite a long list of them that you can find online. And it's not sort of even a rock and roll invention. There's people in there from the late 1900s who are sort of vaudeville acts who are still on there. They all count. I don't know if they all died of, hedonistic excess. Some of them might have, it was the late 19th century. It might have just been disease, but still, they're on the list. So that's your question 6. Which singer, a member of the so-called 27 Club, is most famous for her version of Piece of My Heart and her original song, Mercedes-Benz? On to question number 7. Which self-taught composer, born outside Worcester, was appointed Master of the King's Music in 1924? Which self-taught composer, born outside Worcester, was appointed Master of the King's Music in 1924? I love it when you spell. I love spelling a word that ends with a C with a K. Like we had Jessica Garlick in the last round. I mean, it's not quite the same thing. Sort of music like that, and especially magic spelled with a K. I think it really gives it like a cool vibe. Jessica Garlick, less so. As much, I love garlic. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know what she was thinking with that K. But this King's Music, great. Yes, please, more of that. Which self-taught composer, born just outside Worcester, was appointed Master of the King's Music in 1924? That was your question 7. On to question number 8. 3 questions left. Which politician and philanthropist? Which politician and philanthropist, a founder of the RSPCA, led the slavery abolition movement in British Parliament in the early 19th century? Which politician and philanthropist, a founder of the RSPCA, led the slavery abolition movement in British Parliament in the early 19th century? Pretty good, pretty big. That thing about the RSPCA, a question about this person being involved with the RSPCA was on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire last week. That's what inspired this question, certainly. Which politician and philanthropist, a founder of the RSPCA, led the slavery abolition... I've thrown myself too many words that I'm bad at saying. My apologies for my lack of clarity. Which politician and philanthropist, a founder of the RSPCA, led the slavery abolition movement in British Parliament in the early 19th century? On to question number 9. What is the name used in America for the game that we call noughts and crosses? What is the name used in America for the game that we call noughts and crosses? Nice easy one, hopefully that one. What is the name in America for the game that we call noughts and crosses? And finally, question number 10. Speaking of X's and O's, Kristen Bell voiced the titular narrator in which TV show that made Blake Lively, Leighton Meester and Ed Westwick famous? Kristen Bell voiced the titular narrator in which TV show that made Blake Lively, Leighton Meester and Ed Westwick famous? A big, big show that was. Can't say I ever saw it, but I heard a lot about it. And that is your last question in round number 3, the penultimate round. As always, do what we've done the last 2 rounds. Take a picture of your answer sheet or type them directly into your email. Then email it to me, lewisjones47@hotmail.com. Again, last time, if you can do it by replying to your previous email thread, that would be absolutely perfect. If you want, you can type round 3 in the subject, in the subject should just be your team name. That will come through to me. I'm going to give you another 5 or 6 minutes, so we'll be probably about 2 or 3 minutes past 9 waiting to get those in. But if you can reply, we'll get those and then we'll give you the answers. So I will see you in a couple of minutes.
Sometimes I feel like my words are slipping away from all changed. The world's in my hands. It's taken so long now, but I can't complain. If I'd given in, my sun would implode. But now it is burning, it's burning again. Well, I don't think that I've ever known for sure the world is the way it's supposed to be. You've always seemed to be far beyond my boundaries. And in my time I have read some books and I've learned a little bit about the way things are. But it all seemed to escape me when I saw you smiling up at me. But you told me what to say, and you told me how to say it. When you looked into my eyes, oh, when you looked into my eyes, I knew then that all of my troubles were gone, oh, I thought it would never come, no. But now it's all changed. The world's in my hands. It's taken so long now, but I can't complain. When I was with you, my mind had no words. I may not have many, but baby, they're true. If only I'd known all of these years, you'd unlock the door behind all of my fears. If I'd given in, my sun would implode. But now it is burning, it's burning, it's burning, it's burning, it's burning, it's burning again.
Hello, I am back. I think I've got everyone's answers in, and I can see we've got a few more donation, which is again fantastic. Thank you so much. If you haven't donated already, I'd really appreciate it if you did. All the money will be going straight towards helping Be Well and all of their aims in the Glossop area, so we really appreciate it. Thank you. But anyway, we should look at the answers, I think, for that last round, the alliterative initials round. Let's take a look on what they were. Number one, the actor that first came to prominence in Days Confused and then won an Oscar for Dallas Buyers Club. That was Matthew McConaughey. All right. they called his revival the Reconnaissance because he had a bit of a renaissance. But I think reconnaissance sounds more like reconnaissance, which is different. Odd. But hey, good actor. Seems like a good guy. Number 2. The band that take their name from the name of the heir to the Austro-Hungarian Empire was Franz Ferdinand, of course named for Archduke Franz Ferdinand, shot in 1914 in Sarajevo by Gavrilo Princip of the Black Hand Gang. Started World War I, was the immediate cause. The lighting of the bombs. Remember that in history? It was good. Franz Ferdinand. Question number 3. The contrarian writer and intellectual, described by the Sydney Morning Herald as a walking headline, is Germaine Greer, of course. See, a lot of you got that one. Question number 4. The actress and singer best known for playing the title role in Calamity Jane was, of course, Doris Day. Number 5. John Pemberton invented Coca-Cola as a substitute for morphine. Of course, the Coca originally, there was some amount of cocaine in it. Not nowadays, luckily. That would be a problem. Now it's just a delicious poison. Delicious poison. And yeah, their headquarters of the Coca-Cola company are in Atlanta, Georgia. Question number 6. The singer most famous for her version of Piece of My Heart and the original song Mercedes-Benz is Janis Joplin. Janis Joplin played at Woodstock, but died very, very young in the late 60s, early 70s. Question number 7. The self-taught composer who was appointed Master of the King's Music in 1924 was Edward Elgar. I did put that one in thinking some of you might go Elgar, some of you might go Britten, and that's what happened. My apologies for you guys that put Benjamin Britten. Number 8. The politician and philanthropist that led the slavery abolition movement in Parliament was William Wilberforce. I think 1807 was the year that the first act of that was finally passed. Him and his great friend Pitt the Younger making that happen. Question number 9. The name used in America for noughts and crosses, they call it tic-tac-toe. The game itself dates back possibly to ancient Egypt, but no one knows where the name tic-tac-toe comes from. And it does go by different titles all across the globe. Noughts and crosses I like. I think we've chosen the better name there. Makes sense. You get what it is. And number 10. Kristen Bell voiced the titular narrator in which TV show that made those guys famous? Gossip Girl. XOXO. Just like the Noughts and Crosses. Hugs and kisses, she meant, of course. But in the end, it turned out the Gossip Girl was a man. Strange. One of the stranger endings. Oh well. Anyway, on to our final round, round number 4, which is everyone's favourite in the whole world, an answer smash round. Now, if you're a fan of Richard Osman's House of Games, as anyone with a brain is, 6 p.m. BBC 2 every weekday, you'll know how this works. But if not, I will explain it. You're going to see an image, you're going to see a question. The end of the name of the image is the start of the answer to the question below. You need to give me the answer with the 2 parts joined up as into one. I've chosen a theme for these images, and the theme is heritage sites in the UK. I think they're all UNESCO heritage sites, to be more specific. So you'll see a picture of a UNESCO heritage site, you'll see a question, you have to get the answers to both and smash them together. Because it's charity and because we're being generous, I think I will allow half points. Normally I wouldn't on an answer round. I normally wouldn't allow a half point anyway, because half points are for the weak. But hey, it's charity. Let's be fun. So this time around, we are going to allow those half points. But basically, you need to smash the 2 answers together. I have prepared an example question for you to see, in case you don't understand how it works. It'll be like this. So you see that image. Obviously, that's Stonehenge. We all know that's Stonehenge in Wiltshire. And underneath, Angela Merkel has served as Chancellor of which country since 2005? So Stonehenge, and of course she is the Chancellor of Germany. Stonehenge ends in GE, Germany starts in GE. You can put them together into the one word, Stonehenge, Germany. Stonehenge, Germany. That's how it works. So you need to get both bits, smash them together. If you write just the 2 answers next to each other, I don't want you to have the points. To really get the answer, you need to smash them together. That's how it works. Anyway, let's see how this goes. Let's do question number 1. This lovely natural form. I think it's basalt rocks in Northern Ireland. I think it's is it Wales or Scotland where the other part is? I can't remember. But whatever, where they are. Take the name of that historical site and combine it with who is the England men's football team's record scorer with 53 goals in 120 appearances. Who is the England men's football team's record goal scorer with 53 goals in 120 appearances? That's question 1. Combine the name of that UNESCO World Heritage Site in the UK with the name of England men's football team's record goal scorer who has 53 goals in 120 appearances. That's number 1. On to question number 2. This building, I believe the main building in the middle was the first version of it dates from the days of William the Conqueror. So coming up to 1,000 years. Of course, the outer walls have been built more since that, but undoubtedly a very famous landmark. Take the name of that and combine it with which politician, air quotes very much needed there I feel, which politician formerly was the star of the US version of The Apprentice. Which politician formerly was the star of the US version of The Apprentice? I've started you off, I think, pretty easy with these. A couple of these, a little bit more challenging. By which I mean, I wouldn't get them. For me, that's the level of challenge. Would I not get this? Yeah, it must be hard. So that's question number 2. Combine the name of that building with the name of the politician who was formerly the star of the US version of The Apprentice. Question number 3. This one is more challenging, I'm sure. That building there. Combine it with publisher Harlequin UK release 120 new titles every month under which imprint founded in 1908. Publisher Harlequin UK release 120 new titles every month under which imprint founded in 1908. 120 titles a month is a lot for a relatively niche publisher. One I'm sure that you've all heard of. That's your question number 3. Moving onwards to question number 4. Another certainly harder one here. I think this is a model village. Like not a small one. It's confusing that we have 2 sorts of model village. One which is like a village that they've made specifically, and one which is like a tiny version of a village. This is the bigger version of the model village. But what is the name of that model village? And combine it with what is the 3rd largest island in Europe after Great Britain and Iceland? What is the third largest island in Europe after Great Britain and Iceland? That's your question number 4. Question number 5, halfway point in this round. This area, that building's very notable, but of course the whole grounds of this area. And take that and combine it with which measurement is found by dividing mass by volume. Which measurement is found by dividing mass by volume? Should be a slightly easier one, I hope. That was your question number 5. Only 5 questions left in this quiz. Question number 6. This rather impressive looking building. Very, very, very impressive. Take the name of that and combine it with which Swedish pop group had UK hits in the early 90s with The Sign and All That She Wants. Which Swedish pop group had UK hits in the early 90s with The Sign and All That She Wants? I think All That She Wants was a number 1. The Sign may have only been a number 2. And now I've got it in my head. Very catchy, All That She Wants. You just have to think of it and then it's there. That was your question number 6. Combine that building with which Swedish pop group had UK hits in the early 90s with The Sign and All That She Wants. Question number 7. This structure, apocryphal structure, maybe. We do talk about it and what is required to do to it sometimes. Is that too cryptic or am I giving something away? I'm not sure. We've all heard of it, I'm sure. Take that structure and combine it, please, with the name of this film that Mark Rylance won the Best Supporting Actor Oscar playing Soviet intelligence officer Rudolph Abel in which Spielberg film? Mark Rylance won the Best Supporting Actor Oscar playing Soviet intelligence officer Rudolph Abel in which Steven Spielberg film? That's question number 7. 3 questions left after this one, which was combine that structure with the Mark Rylance won the Best Supporting Actor Oscar playing Soviet intelligence officer Rudolf Abel in which Spielberg film. 3 left. Question number 8. Take the name of this structure, or at least the place in which this structure is situated. I believe it's part of the University of Manchester. And combine that with which British institution is sometimes nicknamed the Old Lady of Threadneedle Street. Which British institution is sometimes nicknamed the Old Lady of Threadneedle Street? Get the 2 parts, smash them together. That's question number 8. Combine the name of this area in which you'll find this big satellite. Combine it with which British institution is sometimes nicknamed the Old Lady of Threadneedle Street. On to question number 9, our penultimate question of the evening. Take the name of this area. The structure is part of it, but there's another word that you'll need after the name of that structure. I had a residential trip to go here in year 6, but I didn't go. And combine it with, I think this is the hardest question in the quiz, this bottom bit, but some of you seem very, very good, so you might have a good chance. Combine the name of that with a common cocktail ingredient, which almond flavoured liquid is believed to have possibly killed Napoleon due to cyanide poisoning. A common cocktail ingredient, which almond flavoured liquid is believed to have possibly killed Napoleon due to cyanide poisoning. And there's quite a few explanations given for Napoleon's death. This is one of them. He was just drinking this thing a lot on its own because he had a great thirst, and this was the only thing that could quench it. But the large amount of bittered almonds in the making of it may have released all the cyanide and killed him dead. And combine it with that top picture, the name of that area, that's that structure in it. We give basically a 2-word answer there. Combine the 2 for your answer. And finally, question number 10, the last question in this quiz. Take the name of this building by its most proper name, I would say, and combine it with which member of Monty Python was the only non-Brit and has gone on to have a very successful career as a film director. Which member of Monty Python was the only non-Brit and has gone on to have a very successful career as a film director. That is your last question in this round and the last question of the quiz. I hope you've had fun. I hope you've enjoyed it. I have, certainly. And I think we have raised a really good bit of money. If you've not donated yet, I'd really like it if you did. As I said before, the link to do so is below in the description, or you can just go to paypal.me/LJ47, put Be Well Quiz in your description, and all the money that we take for that will go straight over there. So thank you. But that is the end of this round and the end of the quiz. So please, once more, take a picture of your answer sheet or put the answers in your email and reply to your previous email. Send them over to me at lewisjones47@hotmail.com. Put your team name as the subject. If you want to put the round number, you can do that in the body of the text. Send those over. and we'll give you 5 minutes to do that, and then we'll mark that round. So give me a couple of seconds and we'll be right back.
Sometimes I feel like my words are slipping away from me. And when I'm around you, I have nothing to say to you. Inside my head, all the world makes sense in a funny way. But when I try to tell you about what you and I should be, to say, and I knew not how to say it, and I couldn't even tell you why. No, I couldn't even tell you why. I knew then that all of my breaths were in vain. Oh, I thought it would never come, no. But now it's all changed. The world's in my hands. It's taken so long now, but I can't complain. If I give it in, my sun would implode. But now it is burning, it's burning again. Well, I don't think that I've ever known for sure the world is the way it's supposed to be. You've always seemed to be far beyond my boundaries. And in my time I have read some books and I've learned a little bit about the way things are. But it all seemed to escape me when I saw you smiling up at me. But you told me what to say, and you told me how to say it. When you looked into my eyes, oh, when you looked into my eyes, I knew then that all of my troubles were gone. Oh, I thought it would never come, no. But now it's all changed. The world's in my hands. It's taken so long now, but I can't complain. When I was with you, my mind had no words. I may not have many, but baby, they're true. If only I'd known all of these years, you'd unlock the door behind all of my fears. If I'd given in, my sun would implode. But now it is burning, it's burning, it's burning.
think I've got everyone's answers in. Yeah, just getting the last couple in now, which is fantastic. Thank you very much. And some really good answers throughout. Really good answers. There were some ones here that I thought were mad hard, but people have done really, really, really well. I'm very, very impressed by you all. And some of them have made me have to... Some of your answers have made me have to think about what I've done and double check, but I think we're okay. Let me see. Yeah, that is everyone. And I think we've raised over £100, which is absolutely fantastic. So thank you very much. If you're not donated yet, would really appreciate if you did. Again, you know where those links are. But let's get at it, shall we? Find out what these answers were in the Answer Smash round. Well, let's see. Number one, the basalt columns in Northern Ireland is the Giant's Causeway. Those stories of Finn McCall and the like. And the record men's scorer for the England football team is Wayne Rooney. So the correct answer is Giant Cause Wayne Rooney. I will give you half a point if you get either half, just to be kind. But Giant Cause Wayne Rooney is the answer to that one. Question number two. This building, of course, the Tower of London. And the politician, formerly the star of the US version of The Apprentice, was Donald Trump. I mean, technically, I think Arnold Schwarzenegger is also a politician who then went on to be the star of The Apprentice. Less famously so, but I doubt anyone put that. But if anyone put Arnold Schwarzenegger for the second bit, you wouldn't be able to smash it with Tower of London. But if you put that, you can have half a point as well. Number three. This one, that building is part of the general Derwent Valley Mills, but I would also, if you put Cromford Mill for the specific mill, you can have that as well. And the publisher Harlequin release 120 new titles every month under the imprint of Mills and Boon. So the correct answer, Derwent Valley Mills and Boon, or Cromford Mill and Mills and Boon will do as well. Number three, this what's the word I'm looking for? I've lost it. Model village is Saltire, and the third largest island in Europe after Great Britain and Iceland is Ireland, the island of Ireland. So if you put Republic of Ireland, you're not technically right, because of course Northern Ireland would be included in that as well. Err on the side of caution with your marking. Be kind perhaps to yourself if you put Republic of Ireland, but just know that if you won by that half point, did you deserve it? I don't know. But Salt Ireland would be the correct answer to that one. Number five. This, of course, is Kew Gardens. And the measurement found by dividing mass by volume is density. So Kew Gard density would be the correct answer. Number six. This, most famous as the birthplace of Winston Churchill, probably, is Blenheim Palace, and the Swedish pop group had a number one with All That She Wants. It's Ace of Base, so the correct answer, Blenheim Palace of Base. Blenheim Palace of Base. Number seven, this bridge is the fourth bridge, of course, in Scotland, famous for being painted and taking a long while to have done so. I believe they've changed the way they paint it now, though, and they don't have to do it as much, which is good, I'm sure. Spans the fourth of Firth, and the Mark Rylance won Best Supporting Actor for that role in the film Bridge of Spies. So the correct answer, Fourth Bridge of Spies. Question number 8. This big old dish is at Jodrell Bank, where they do a lot of science for the University of Manchester, and the institution nicknamed the Old Lady of Threadneedle Street is the Bank of England. So the correct answer is Jodrell Bank of England. Question number 9. This whole area, the bridge itself, but the area is Ironbridge Gorge, and the liquid used in cocktails that may have killed Napoleon is I don't know if you say it, probably it's French, Orgeat probably, Orgeat syrup, Ironbridge Gorge syrup, lovely stuff. That's definitely a hard one, I think, but I see some of you got it, so well done. And question number 10, finally, the whole building itself, including both chambers of Parliament and all the rest of the building, is the Palace of Westminster. That is its proper name. And the member of Monty Python that was not a Brit was the American Terry Gilliam. So the correct answer is Palace of Westminster Terry Gilliam. Well, that is your lot. So I'm going to give you another 2 or 3 minutes, add up your scores from all 4 of those rounds and send me a new email. Don't do this one as a reply. Send me a brand new email with your team name and your score. You can just do that in the subject if you want. Team name and score in the subject. That would probably be easiest. I'll give you 2 or 3 minutes to get those over to me. I will look through them. I will find the highest scoring one. Whoever's got the highest score, I will look at your answers. If I concur that you have the same number of points as you said, then you're the winner of the quiz. So I will give you a couple of minutes to do that, and I'll be back with you with a winner.
Sometimes I feel like my words are slipping away from me. And when I'm around you, I have nothing to say to you. Inside my head, all the world makes sense in a funny way. But when I try to tell you about what you and I should be, to say, and I knew not how to say it, and I couldn't even tell you why. No, I couldn't even tell you why. I knew then that all of my breaths were in vain. Oh, I thought it would never come, no. But now it's all changed. The world's in my hands. It's taken so long now, but I can't complain. If I'd given in, my sun would implode. But now it is burning, it's burning again. Well, I don't think that I've ever known for sure the world is the way it's supposed to be. You've always seemed to be far beyond my boundaries. And in my time I have read some books and I've learned a little bit about the way things are. But it all seemed to escape me when I saw you smiling up at me. But you told me what to say, and you told me how to say it. When you looked into my eyes, oh, when you looked into my eyes, I knew then that all of my troubles were gone. Oh, I thought it would never come, no. But now it's all changed. The world's in my hands. It's taken so long now, but I can't complain. When I was with you, my mind had no words. I may not have many, but maybe they're true. If only I'd known all of these years, you'd unlock the door behind all of my fears. If I'd given in, my sun would implode. But now it is burning, it's burning, it's burning, it's burning, it's burning, it's burning again.
I am back. Your totals are still trickling in. I think missing a couple. I'll give it till 22 just to get everyone's in, but some good answers throughout a good, nice range. In the comments, Jane says, great quiz, pitched perfectly, good mix of tough and gettable for us. A huge thank you from everyone at Be Well. You're very welcome, Jane. It's been my pleasure to help out. I've really enjoyed it. I hope you have too. hopefully this whole thing will be over and you can just go to the pub again in future. But if not, I'm very happy to do this whenever is needed. Of course, I run my own quiz every Thursday night, 7:30 till 10. 5 rounds, a bit zippier, definitely a bit harder, but a lot of fun. I think everyone who's done it will agree. So if you want to join in with that, there's cash prizes for that, not just some biscuits. But I'd really recommend it. I really enjoy doing that every week. And if you like even harder questions, I do an email every week with 10 only connect style, cryptic, lateral thinking kind of questions. And you can sign up for those. Just send me a DM to ask about that if you want. But I hope you've had fun. Okay, I think I've got as many in as I'm gonna. I was looking at, I thought it was going to be close. There was a lot around the 40 mark, and considering we've only had 40 questions, that's impressive. I think there's about 50 points available, four rounds of 10 plus the 10 points extra on the question about carrot cake. But I do believe if no one else is going to send in their answers, we do have a champ. And there's another email in. Is it going to be one? Wow. It's even tighter than I thought it might be. So we got one of the emails that I've just got in. The team, the Stevos, led by Val Stevenson, have scored 45.5. But the winners for this quiz with 46, just half a point more, are the Ryder Grantham clan. Well done. Congratulations to them. Woo, yeah, well done. Woo, well done, yeah, great, woo. Well done, you guys. You win some biscuits. Of course, what more could you want? I'd love a biscuit right now. But that's it. That's the whole quiz. I hope you've had a laugh. If you've not donated already, please do so. But as I said, we've raised about 100 quid. If you haven't done it, the link is in the bio, or you can find it on the event page on Facebook. As I said, my quarantine quiz is every Thursday night. I've not written any of it for tomorrow, so I'm going to probably have a late one tonight, trying to come up with all the tricky goodness that I normally do. But I really hope you've had fun. I hope we get to do this again. But whenever it is, just make sure that you are safe, be kind, and as always, go well. It's been a